Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Favor. For those of you who are new here, welcome. As you can see, I hope I'm perfectly in the frame. You may watch some videos, I'm at the edge of the frame, and some videos I'm at the other side of the frame. Just take the video as it is, take the content as it is. I'm hoping that by the grace of God, as I grow this year, make more changes, there'll be better improvements and better quality. Agreed. So if you're new here, welcome. It's a very juicy topic that we're about to have. I'm sure you were interested in this video because of the title. NYSC, for those who are not Nigerians, stands for National Youth Service Corps, and is a scheme where after you're done with your university or any other tertiary institution, selected tertiary institutions, you're sent or you are enlisted to serve your nation for 1 year. So you undergo 3 weeks of training in a camp. They call it an orientation camp. They tell you what to expect during that 1 year of service to the nation. They tell you how you're expected to serve the nation, how you're expected to be able, what is required and what is expected of you. In some other instances, maybe sometimes when there's an election coming up, you also participate actively in the election. Not participate in terms of voting now, but participate in terms of assisting voters and also undergoing voting registration and just helping out at the polling units as the government, representing the government now. So NYSC is just like military service, but not exact military service without the wars and all of that. The training is also definitely not as intense, but you get the idea. So you're just serving your nation for 1 year. And I had an NYSC experience. Before we even jump into this video, have you subscribed to this channel? Let's first do the intro. Okay, so welcome back from the intro. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. We have a goal for the year, guys. We have a goal. I'm taking the subscription thing very seriously. Don't slide into my DM to tell me how great the video was if you have not subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment if you learned any lesson whatsoever. Let me know in the comment section. Like this video. Turn on your notification bell so you're notified every time a new video drops. And yeah, that's it. So why am I sharing my NYSC experience today? The year is 2023 for people who would be watching this video much later on. And last year, ending of last year, 2022, I had posted something so random on Twitter. It was so random in my head. In fact, I'm going to include the post here because I can't remember the exact words I used. But it was something along the lines of, I don't really understand what people see in NYSC camp. There's nothing that I would ever want to go back there to do. And somehow that tweet was like one of the most viral tweets I've ever had, and it sparked a lot of reactions, and a lot of people were saying, oh, I enjoyed my NYSC camp. Some people say I did not enjoy NYSC camp, and then some blogs picked it up. I'm also going to include it so you can see. You're wondering what is so spectacular about this NYSC thing that has generated so much controversy, and particularly as regards my experience and why a lot of people just have different experiences about NYSC camp. So a lot of people have different stories from NYSC. People go to NYSC camp and meet their plus one, their other one, their partner, their life partner, and now they're doing life together, they have children, they are happily married. That's their luck. Some people go to NYSC camp and they meet with God. God calls them into ministry. That's their luck. People go into NYSC, start up businesses, different things. In fact, when I went to NYSC camp, one of the things I also realized was because at a point in time, there were lots of people advocating that NYSC scheme, the scheme is scrapped under the guise. People said, oh, the government is using it to siphon money. It's a pointless scheme. There's insecurity. It's not necessary. Because one thing about NYSC, for people who do not know, is they get to post you to different states. That was the idea, but it's obviously not, it doesn't always apply in practice, but they get to post you to different states across the nation. And different people wanted to scrap this scheme, but I felt like they shouldn't scrap it because it generates employment for a lot of people. There are lots of people who currently work with and for NYSC. So the gist about this video is my NYSC experience and why I posted what I posted, and this is the story behind my post, the viral tweet. So that's what the gist about this entire video. I went to NYSC in what year was this now? I think I went to NYSC in 2021. That was a year after COVID. So COVID pandemic, COVID-19, which took place in 2020. That was the major time when the lockdown and the pandemic hit its peak. And 2021 was post-COVID, post-lockdown, activities were just easing up. I had just finished the Nigerian law school. For people who do not know, I'm a lawyer. I'm qualified to practice law in Nigeria, and I just finished at the Nigerian law school at the time. That was in 2021. Like I said, I mean, I literally finished from Nigerian law school in March, and I went on to NYSC camp, I think the following month. I think it was April ending or early May. I can't remember now. I've lost track of the dates. Either April ending or early ending of May, one of the two. And I went to NYSC camp. Let me put things in clearer perspective now. So when I was in university, I spent 5 years in school. So most of my mates, supposed mates who did a 4-year course, had also graduated before I graduated. So by the time I graduated, I went straight up to the law school. Law school was meant to span for 1 year. I have a video on my law school video. You could check it out here just to know what law school is all about. Law school was meant to span for 1 year, but because of COVID, the lockdown, the pandemic, and all of that, it's extended to 2 years. So I was going to NYSC at a time when practically all my mates had served. That's what it means. All my mates had served, and the way NYSC works, it's not like everybody from the same school, the same faculty will end up in the same camp or in the same states, because there are 36 states in Nigeria, excluding the Federal Capital Territory. So the chances of you getting posted with all of your mates and all your friends is very unlikely. And so I was posted to NYSC camp. I got Lagos. Interestingly, that's another story for another day. I didn't even have to. It was just a miracle that I got Lagos. It's a story for another day, like I said. And so I was posted to Lagos camp. I was at Yanokpaja. That's the name of the camp. I'm going to include some videos because I made some videos during the time. If you notice that the video was not even made with intention to be shared anyway. So I made some videos and I have some pictures. I'll post them so you can see. And then so I was at Yanokpaja, NYSC orientation camp. To be sincere, I think my number one problem was I was out of social battery. I had no intention of making friends. I was just coming back from the gruesome bar finals. I was tired. I literally just wanted to do the NYSC scheme. And then, okay, I also knew by the grace of God. But if you watch how I knew I was going to relocate, there's a video like that. I also knew I was going to proceed to my master's after I was done with school. So NYSC was literally just something I felt I had to do. So I was just in NYSC camp. NYSC camp, orientation camp, lasts for 3 weeks, and we had to share a room with, I think, about 50 people. Now, to be fair, I understand that some camps are not as bad as this, and I also understand that some camps are worse than Yanokpaja Lagos orientation camp. So this is without prejudice to your experience. This is just my experience. And so I think I had to share a room. It was a double bunk or double decker. Please let me know in the comment section. It was a double bunk, and I was on top of the bed. I was sleeping on top of the bed. Imagine I was sleeping on top of the bed because all the spaces down had been taken. I was on top of the bed, on top of the bunk. Wasn't comfortable. Obviously wasn't comfortable. Then what else? We were about 50 in the room. I kid you not, we were about 50, because I'm certain that there were about over 25 bunks in that room, and there was someone on each bed space. And what else? There was mosquito. I don't like mosquito. I come from the west. I come from Nigeria in West Africa. If you know, West Africa and the tropical region is used to mosquitoes. There were lots of mosquitoes. I do not like mosquitoes. In fact, if you're going to NYSC camp, please buy mosquito nets. Buy mosquito nets. So I didn't carry mosquito net with me. I had to purchase mosquito nets within the camp. And then we had to wake up at odd hours, guys. We had to wake up at 4 a.m. different odd hours, because they were trying to give us like they were trying to give us a prototype of what military people experience, what how it works in the defense academy. Would line up in the cold, would be having not unnecessary, sorry for saying unnecessary, but permit me to use the word, would be having lectures early in the morning in the cold. And they have an anthem. The anthem is actually interesting. Under the sun and in the rain. You're under the sun will be in the afternoon, we'll be outside just standing, literally just standing. I'm saying it for emphasis, just standing. And then apart from that, what else did we do? Sometimes it would be raining. Instead of them, a few times they actually told us to go in because it was raining, but that was a few times. Other times we'll just stay. Even when it's raining, we'll just stay, because according to them, that's the anthem, that's what you signed up for. And you know, apart from just waking up early, I'm just trying to, the story is all over the place, so I'm just trying to give you a picture of what really just informed my opinion about NYSC. Okay, so apart from that, this has to do with like the activities generally. Now, to the structure of the place, the beds, like I said, were not so comfortable. They were not entirely bad, but they were not too comfortable. Obviously, it's not going to be like your own room. I wasn't expecting like my own house treatment, certainly not, but at least some form of comfort, you know, or convenience. I'm here to serve the nation. The nation should serve me well too. That's a joke. Anyway, so the beds were not too comfortable, and then I had to share a room with a lot of people, and I'm not very good with sharing space like that with plenty people. And then another thing, the bathroom, guys. So we had to share bathroom, and anybody who knows me knows I have a serious thing with sharing bathroom with people, with sharing bathroom with strangers. To be fair, we didn't have like very disturbing occurrences that you enter into the bathroom and you see something you're not supposed to see, like you see a stain, or you see someone who had left something that was not meant to be left where it was left. But there were instances when, you know, you would enter the bathroom because that was the only place where there was water was available, and someone would have washed food into the sink of the bathroom, and then you're wondering like, what is food doing in this space? This is not a space for food. And then you just see all those very certain irritating things. And there was lights, the light was not good. Okay, lights was not always good. Some parts, some places, some parts of the building were darker than others. And because it was Lagos is like the hub of commercial activities in Nigeria. Lagos is the hub of parties, is the hub of social activities. So if you're not very extroverted, and even if you're extroverted, like, is it by force to party? Is it by force to go to events? So they are literally compelling you guys to attend social events, and that, I think that's something I never really understand. So as they are forcing you to go out for parade, forcing you to go out for, you know, man o' war drills and all, they are equally compelling you to attend social events. So they have social nights because it's Lagos. A lot of celebrities came to our camp at the time. I can't remember them now. I think Blossom came, Ladipo came, musicians, actors, actresses, different people. I'm sure if it was during the election, maybe Peter Obi too would have come. But a lot of people came at the time. And then, you know, they would now force you to attend those events, and those events would span late into the night. You would not finish those events until maybe 11 p.m. or thereabouts, and then they are doing lights out, and then by 4 a.m. you're back awake again to do that all over again. So we had to do that for like 3 weeks. And then another issue was the food. Now, I didn't always eat the food. I know a lot of people have different opinions. This is just my experience, so this is my general disclaimer. The food was not entirely bad, but you know, there were some days that you want to eat something that is not part of what is available. Some of their foods were nice. I mean, I like akara and pap. There were days that they served akara and pap. I collected this because I like it. There was Sunday jollof rice and chicken. That was also nice. They had some nice meals which I actually did collect. I won't even deny that. But apart from that, it wasn't always all that most times. So, you know, you had to like spend more money to get food from the Mami market. That was the market that was available. So that also took its toll on me. And then I think the major part was the social battery energy. I was so out of social battery. I wasn't even interested in making friends. To tell you how bad it was, people meet their life partners, people meet husbands, people meet wives in camp. I didn't meet anybody. I did not meet, not even in terms of like romantic relationship. I didn't even meet anybody, platonic friend or anybody. I did not meet anybody. It wasn't even until maybe like the second week in camp that I realized there was someone else from my university that was in camp. And then I think we hung out a couple of times. Then I think in the last week I now saw someone who I had known, who was maybe like a family distance friend. That was like towards the end, but we're already rounding up, so there wasn't really much time to bond. And I also met someone who I eventually served in the same PPA. PPA is your place of primary assignment. So after the 3 weeks of orientation camp, you'll be posted to an office or an organization where you would work as a core member, and then most times if you're lucky you get to be retained in that organization and you start your career generally. So I eventually met someone who we eventually got to serve in the same PPA. She was a great person, but I also met her at the end of camp. So it was like all the sweetness and the interesting and everything came up at the end of camp. Some people say if you're able to survive the first week and get on to the second week, you've made it out of camp. That's the best of the best. I don't know how they did this, because me, I survived first week, I survived second week, and I'll stay there like, what in God's name is this? Some people are lucky. I said lucky in quotes because they fall sick and then they are asked to leave camp. And even during COVID, then if you have any sign of sickness, they'll say, oh, please just leave the camp so you don't infect people. Camp. Some people faked medical reports just so they could leave camp. Obviously, you know that's based off of what we do on this preach on this channel. I wouldn't do that. Some people forge different things, you know. Some people try to, and the reason why I'm saying this with a lot of like respect and saying it carefully is because I understand a lot of people want Lagos camp. A lot of people still do wanted Lagos, still want Lagos for those who have not served, and they are going to Yanopaja orientation camp or any other orientation camp. Some went to Ogun State, but they were posted to Lagos because of how large people also get posted to Lagos are. So wherever you end up, just enjoy the experience. I think that's like the major lesson that I would say. Try your best to enjoy the experience. Don't be like me. And if you're like me, you're out of social battery, you don't have to go. If you have a legitimate reason not to go, you do not have to go. Because I know some people who went to camp and fell sick. I know some people who went to camp and enjoyed it. So try to enjoy the experience. Don't necessarily be like me. If you're like me, you like your space. Another thing you can do is go with everything that would make you feel comfortable. Go with your food. I think I went with cereal. I went with curry. You could also go with as much food as you like. They don't stop people from bringing food. You can go with 2 boxes. They don't stop you from bringing 2 boxes as long as you can drag your box by yourself. That's no problem. So what you can do is try to go with as many things as you can that will make you as comfortable as possible. That's one thing I really wish I had gone with as much food as, because I like food, wish I had gone with as many food as I could go with. Then if you don't know how to make friends, you could try to participate actively in your platoon. They used to group people into platoon. Try to participate actively in your platoon. Oh, I even forgot to tell you, I participated in one event. I think it was an oratory contest and I won, thankfully, to the glory of God. So it wasn't like as if I was just sitting there in the camp. It was just not something I enjoyed. It's not something I want to do again. So you don't think that I was just there in camp sitting down looking like all these sad people. It wasn't as bad as that, but it wasn't something, you know, there are things that for some of us, the way we read book in school is not necessarily because we like to read. It's just because we have to read it. So that's just the way the camp was for me. It was just something that I had to do, and I didn't exactly enjoy it. And so, like I said, try your best to be involved in platoon activities. You could also participate in NCCF. There was NCCF is the, I think, Christian Corpus Fellowship, Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship. I'm not sure. I'll put the actual full name there. You could also participate in that. That actually works for me because it's very easy in the midst of all those activities for 3 weeks for you to, you know, just lose track of your devotion, lose track of your faith, which is bad because you go for 3 weeks, ordinary 3 weeks orientation camp, and you've lost track of your faith, which is actually not a good thing. So that's something that you also want to check out for. Then for the social activities, I don't know how to do that one, because I don't know, because even myself, I did not know how I did it. Because sometimes I'm just wondering, like, what exactly are these people enjoying in this thing? Honestly, and I'm not even trying to form like, oh, I'm a religious person or anything. I was just like, what exactly are you people enjoying in this thing? Just shouting and shouting and shouting all over the place. I just couldn't get it. So maybe if you know how to get that one, you could also, you know, put in some tips for people in the comment section. But yeah, I think that was pretty much my NYSC orientation camp experience, and this was all I can remember. And I know people have different experiences because, like I said, it sparked up a very interesting conversation, and lots of people said I enjoyed it. This was what I enjoyed. I think another thing that I had enjoyed was, I think I enjoyed the drills, the man o' war drills. I'll put some pictures. Like I said, I enjoyed those drills, those early morning drills, running and jogging. At least in my head, I thought I was keeping fit, but by the time I left orientation camp, I had gained so much weight. I still don't understand how I gained so much weight from after leaving orientation camp. So that's another thing you may want to watch out for. Try not to overeat and try to participate actively in the activities so you do not gain too much weight. And yes, please let me know in the comment section how your NYSC camp experience was. If you haven't gone, let me know what your expectations are. Let me know what your fears are. I will definitely address it. And let me know if you enjoyed your story. Let me know if you enjoyed camp. I think that was one thing that a lot of people could relate to, because I said I never want to go back there. Some people said they don't mind going back there. I never want to go back there. When I even went back to collect my what's that certificate thing that they collect, that certificate that they'll give you a certificate at the end of the year. When I went to collect the certificates, I was just like, it was like PTSD for me, like I was at this place. So yeah, I think I'll insert clips of when it was when I went to collect my certificate as well, because I was really happy. I had changed, I had grown, I had matured, I had worked for quite a bit, and you know, it was exciting. The 1 year experience after the camp was more interesting for me than the camp itself. And even the interesting aspects of the 1 year of service was not about the NYSC. It was more about where I served. It was more about my PPA, and that was the experience that I actually liked, because all those going for general CDS, general clearance, was another story entirely. The NYSC is just synonymous with stress, but the PPA was really nice. I got a very lovely and amazing place with amazing people, to the glory of God. So yes, let me know in the comment section what you just think about NYSC. Let me know if you liked my story time, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Until next time, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.